Welcome to Mystery Crate. I'm Roy. Billy and Chris are here in the room, and love is in the air because Valentine's Day is on Sunday. So,
what's up, Craters?
Guys, there's so much love in the air that I'm naked right now. Did you guys put clothes on for this?
I did, actually, yes.
Chris, you're so good. I know I've done this before. You're so good at bringing like energy because I'm not like that. What's up, Craters? And the that I did, like, just it doesn't seem natural. Like, it doesn't seem like I'm excited.
So you're saying is that you are excited, but it's just tough for you to convey it.
I'm not good at emoting.
Okay.
I'm not excited.
Roy, why aren't you excited?
Yeah, Roy.
It's just not my natural disposition.
What's the last thing you were excited about?
Baby.
The birth of my daughter, probably. I guess that would be one.
When's the next time you intend to be excited? Do
Maybe,
you build things up? Do you like think, oh my God, I can't wait for this thing to happen? I mean, now obviously it's different because a lot of the days are just the same day over and over again. But outside of this, are there things that you like look forward to? Like, wow, I can't wait for whatever.
The birth of my next child, hopefully sooner or later.
I think I know what Roy's gonna get excited about, and that's this Sunday. Valentine's Day, baby.
Yeah, sure.
Roy, did you get something already for Valentine's Day?
No.
It's late in the game.
All Valentine's Day is a made-up holiday. So
here we go.
Companies can get more money.
Well, all love is a made-up emotion,
Seriously,
right? It's
Roy.
just
all emotions.
What is marriage? I mean,
what is anything? What are we doing?
Sex is just dancing really closely.
You're bound by law to be together forever. That's what marriage is.
Well, I can't believe this worked and that you're married. How did you sweep Anita off her feet with this attitude? What is love? What is emotions? What is this? What is that? I mean, come on, Roy.
Because I got game there, Billy. That's fine.
What's your game? Please, I'd love to see your game. Please pretend if we can. If we can,
child.
Before we get to Ron Magill's and
There
him
it
having
is.
sex with animals,
Whoa.
what is it?
Whoa.
What is your game, and how
Careful
did you
there.
sweep your wife off of her feet?
It's called online dating there, Billy.
Yeah, what would you do? Would you poke? Did you do the poke? Remember that?
That's
not still a thing,
to
right?
Me first. She talked to me first. If you listen to the first relationships podcast,
I did not.
No, there you go. Now I'm not going to tell you.
So she reached out to you, and what was your game? Because, excuse me, I'd just like to point out, you said that the way you got married is because you have game, and then just said that your wife reached out to you.
That's
so
right.
What was your game? Hard to get?
The
Cat and
continuation of the relationship is me having game. How about that?
mouse? All right. Anyway.
Oh.
Happy Valentine's Day, Craters.
Guys,
Yeah.
do we have an episode for you? And I know we always kind of have this enthusiasm about episodes. I always do.
I
Well,
have
you
it
do.
now, by the
You
way.
do.
I didn't when we started. I didn't, but I've been talked into it. I've got the attitude. I've got the enthusiasm. Roy, do you feel it? I'm frustrating Chris because he just wants to get to it, and I don't let him for some reason.
I am still not enthused.
You're not enthusiastic about Valentine's Day. You don't love love.
No, I'm not. I'm not a big proponent of loving love.
What do you love?
I love my wife. I love my daughter. I don't love you. However, that's the opposite of how I feel.
Huh?
I'm sorry to tell you this.
I think you love to tell me that.
I do love to tell you that I don't love you.
Guys,
What?
we have a treat for you in this episode. We have Ron Magill. He is not having sex with animals, as Billy implied a few minutes ago. He has done at the Miami Zoo Miami, a show where it's on Valentine's Day, where you go with your date, and he tells you about the animals and sex. It's funny. You learn, and we have brought that to you. We have brought that show. You don't have to pay for it. Normally, it costs you a lot of money. It's a nice date night. You get it for free right here. We got Ron Magill talking love and the animals, and then after that, I impose on my parents' Valentine's Day dinner. They're sitting at a candlelit dinner, romantic, enjoying their Valentine's Day, and I just intrude on it, and it's just me kind of talking to them, being uncomfortable, asking them about their sex life. It's great.
Kind of rude. isn't
Wait,
it?
what?
I mean, I make a few jokes that are uncomfortable, but I'm not talking about their sex life the whole time, but it's fun. It's just me kind of being Aaron Andrews. Like, you know the way Aaron Andrews covers the Super Bowl? That's me on the sidelines covering my parents' Valentine's Day dinner, and you get to hear it after Ron Magill.
It's Tracy Wolfson this year, but okay.
Well, semantics, whatever. It's Ron Magill doing his Sex and the Animals show that he's done for years at Zoo Miami, but he's doing it for Billy, Roy, myself, Amin Elhassan, and Ryan Cortez. Check it out.
Animals have a lot that they can teach us. We can watch animals. We can learn from them. Why? Because animals don't have hangups about things, guys. They're not watching Dr. Phil. They're not watching Oprah. They don't worry about the size of things, the frequency of things, the duration of things. If it feels good, they do it. You see, they don't have all these psychological issues that we're always trying to live up to. You know, people say, oh, how many times do you do it a week? Oh my God, you do it 3, 4, 5 times a week. Oh my God, I got to do it that far. You know, and you get these insecurity complexes. Animals don't have that. If it feels good, they do it. So you can watch them and learn and be confident in yourself. So that's one of the things I tell them. Now, having said that, I do also tell them, guys, don't compare yourself to animals, because animals, if you're going to compare yourselves to animals, you're going to be very humbled during the presentation.
I'm like a bear.
No, but see, you don't really want to be like a bear. No, Cody, let me tell you why. No, because bears, you know, it's a couple of times a year, maybe they're doing.
What?
Yeah, it's not a big.
Is that why my wife calls me that?
You want to be more. You want to be more. I don't know, like a rhino. Well, listen.
Ooh.
Put it this way. If you think, you know, you're with, let's say, Cody, you're with your wife 3 times in one night. That's a big night. For most guys, that's a big night. For some guys, it's a big year. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Billy. Big year. Okay. But if you compare yourself to the mammal that has the record belongs to a little thing that looks like a gerbil. It's a type of rodent. It's called the Shaw's Jerd. And the Shaw's Jerd does it every 15 seconds for an hour, brother.
Baby.
That's over 200 times in an hour. So now, but you know, and at this point in the presentation, the women in the audience go, see, that's what I need. I need that kind of, you know, endurance. That's what I need in a man.
15 seconds though?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You're looking at the real thing here. You're looking at quality versus quantity. And that's what I try to tell people, because the Shaw's Jerd, and I do a little, you know, in the interest of science, because I am at heart an educator. Okay. So I get up on the stage and I do the imitation, because I've watched the Shaw's Jerd do this, and I do the imitation. And basically it's every 15 seconds, but 12 of those seconds are recovery time. So really it is 3 seconds, guys. He gets that female, the male gets behind the female, 1, 2, 3, it's over. Now, a lot of the women at that point, they all say, welcome to my hell. Okay. But here's the bottom line. Humans are not supposed to be 3 seconds. Shaw's Jerds are. So stop comparing yourself that way. Now, there's another advantage that a lot of animals have. All primates, for instance, all primates, of which we are the group of primates, all primates except for 2 have a bone in their penis. So they don't have to depend on necessarily performance anxiety, because it's built in. The foundation is there when they need it. They just call upon it. And that's a big advantage.
So their penises never go flaccid then?
It goes flaccid, but they're able to put it within their abdominal cavity, within their in other words, they're able to hide and tuck it.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
You're a tucker.
Mm-hmm.
So then, all they need to do when they need it is they just pivot their pelvis the right way, and it pops out. You see, and it works out very well that way. Now, the only 2 primates that don't have a bone in their penis are humans and a little thing called the tarsier. So listen, I'm just giving you facts, brother. I'm giving you education.
I'm imagining Chris right now just throwing his hips.
Wait, is this where boners come from?
You know what? That's where the name comes from, Chris. That's exactly where the name comes from. Like, you ever watch the dogs when the females and dogs always going up and smelling her and licking her behind and stuff like that? You know, when I was a little kid, I thought, that is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my world. I mean, that's horrible. Why would you want to smell and lick that area of anybody's body? And then all of a sudden I got older and I started thinking, well, hey, now, you know, it's a little different now. Now I understand why the dogs do it, because they're not thinking so much about it. They're thinking, this smells good. This tastes good. This is good. You see? So animals give you the idea of where these instincts come from inside of us. You know, people don't understand that. So that's what I try to show that. So after I get across all these things, I talk about the bones and the penis, then I come up and I show people images of baby animals. No matter what you look at, if it's a baby animal, it's a baby human being, everybody always looks at it and goes, man, look how beautiful. Oh, it's so darling. It's so cute. And I wish, just for 1 second, we could put a slide or an image of the parents breeding that caused that pregnancy to happen, you see, to connect the two. Because we just don't connect the two. We think about it like this is this pure little, oh, I love you so much. Oh, I love you. Oh, and a lot of times it's, yeah, baby, go, yeah, give it to me, give it to me. And there's that beautiful baby that's so cute that's born, right? And you don't realize that baby came there out of passion, baby. It's passion. So I show the baby animals, and then I show the animals doing it. I can't do that with humans, of course, because that would probably be called pornographic. But with animals, it's nature. This is what I get away with, you see. I get away with this because I'm a scientist. I'm a zoologist. I'm just studying nature. So if I'm showing huge penises, if I'm showing graphic sex between rhinos, it's natural. It's just me studying zoology. If I showed that with human beings, it's pornography. So you see the difference here? This is what I'm trying to show people.
Well, Ron, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, brother.
In the animal kingdom, you're my brother. In the animal kingdom, is there an equivalent to pornography for them? Obviously, they can't make films and all that, but are there? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely there is. And I don't know if they call it pornography, but there's certain things that they would consider titillating. And I'm going to give you a prime example right now. Okay. There was this panda. Okay. They were breeding pandas in Thailand, and they were breeding these pandas. And there was this one male panda. He was a finely tuned breeding machine, man. You put him in with any female and he would breed her. Like, you throw a donut in there with him, he'd breed the donut. Okay. This guy was just focused on just breeding.
Yeah.
All right. So trouble is, he bred so much that his genetic material was overrepresented, you see. So they got to stop him from breeding. So they had a new male that was being rehabbed that was totally unrepresented. None of his offspring were in the captive collection to keep the gene pool diverse. And they said, we got to get this guy to breed with the female. And when female pandas, this is another thing people don't understand. Whenever there's a panda being born, people hear about it. You know, it's on the Today Show, on Good Morning America. It's national news. The panda's been born. It's a huge thing. Well, why is it huge? I'll tell you why. Because the female can only get pregnant 3 days within the entire year. Only 3 days in the entire year.
What a life.
Exactly, right? So in 3 days, brother, you got to maximize that opportunity. So
no risks.
The other 361 or whatever days, if a male comes next to her, she will try to kill him. She'll try to beat him to a pulp. They're solitary. They don't want anything to do with it. Okay.
Oh wow.
But
that's not fun.
I know it's not fun, but in those 3 days when she's ready, she goes 180 degrees and turns into the most promiscuous animal in the world. And we know that because we can examine her urine levels and see the hormone level. We see when it's peaked. We go, she's ready. And we'll put her with the male. Instead of fighting the male, she literally backs up into him. She puts her genital area right into his face. She shoves it into his face. She's going, here, this is for you. Okay, I need this. I need it now. And a good male, like our big breeder, he'll say, yeah, baby, I'm happy to service you. Boom, he services her, okay? So we did that with this other male. We said, this is going to be perfect. We're going to get him to breed. We'll get his genetic makeup in here and help the captain's situation. She put it right up in his face, and he just kind of looked away like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I mean, the more she tried, the more he looked away. At that point, we thought that he may be gay. Now, before you guys start laughing, think, Ron, stop being condescending. Homosexuality is found throughout the animal kingdom, okay? Throughout the animal kingdom, homosexuality is found. So this is not something that's unusual. We'd say, okay, maybe he's gay. So let's put him in with another male and see if that gets him going. So at least we can collect the sperm and we can then artificially inseminate some females. Well, that didn't work. They just fought. He didn't want anything to do with males. He just kind of was by himself. Well, one of the researchers came up with the belief that, listen, guys, I know this is going to sound weird, but it's honest truth. He said, let's make a film. Let's make a film of the stud muffin guy breeding that female. Let's make a good high def 1080p, put it up on the plasma screen. And the next time she cycles, put her in there with the guy who doesn't know what he's doing and put on the screen. And maybe he'll look at the screen and be titillated by that. And people, his co-scientist said, you're a pervert. You're a sick puppy. You know that? You need help. You shouldn't be a scientist. And bottom line is this. At the end of the day, they finally said, listen, let's try it. Nothing else is working. Let's see what happens. They made the film. They put it up on the plasma screen. The next time she was in heat, she put him in there with him. They ran the film. He looked up at the film and he went, oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He got behind her and he bred her like he never bred her in his life, watching that film the whole time. So he was titillated by that. You see, I'll give you another example.
Panda porn.
That's exactly what they called it. It was a headline in the New York Times. Panda porn works. Okay. And that was another thing, you know. Listen, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I've looked at it every now and then. My wife and I get a little freaky every now and then. Say, let's put this on. Let's see what this is like. Okay. Yes. All right. I'm giving you too much information, but you know what?
Sometimes
I love it. I love it, Ron. I want more.
This is for science, Ron. It's for science.
I'm just being honest with you, brother. I'm just being honest because this is life. These are different things that keep things fresh.
Yes.
Keep things variety.
Yes.
Okay? Yes.
Tell him, Ron.
So, and I want to tell you another thing. Another thing I learned from the animals. Flamingos. Now, I'm asked all the time, is monogamy something that's common in the animal kingdom? Listen, it's not common, but it does occur. But sometimes with a caveat. And this will kind of dovetail in other things that is sometimes considered human fetishes. For instance, flamingos will only mate with one mate, but they won't do it unless at least 30 other flamingos are watching. Okay? They've got to do it while 30 other flamingos are watching. Yeah, well, is it kinky? Or maybe is it just titillating? What is the definition of kinky? Cody, think about that.
I thought you were going to say that maybe you, like the flamingos, had sex with one leg, and that's like the thing with flamingos.
You're really dark, Cody.
Thanks, Chris.
Anyway, listen.
That's
let me
a
go back
flashback to a
thing.
torn ACL.
You never know.
Right.
So here's the deal. So there were zoos that only had like 3 pair of flamingos. It wasn't enough flamingos to get them all titillated to breed, right? So what did they do?
I know where this is going.
You got it, right? Because you've done this, I've done this, okay?
Cloning.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with cloning, brother. Come on. You guys ever been in a hotel room and you've been in one of those beds that has the big mirror closet right next to you? You're doing the wild thing with your wife. You look over to the mirror and you go, hey now.
Got one on my ceiling.
That's exactly right. So they put mirrors in the rooms with the flamingos and boom, bam, chicka, bam, bam. All the flamingos went crazy. They saw the reflections in the mirror and everything's going. And again, you know what it told me? It told me, Ron, you're not that weird.
I gotta admit it. My dumb ass thought the solution was to throw some panda porn on. And it goes like, oh, there it goes.
Nah, it doesn't seem to work cross species there. But the bottom line is this: seeing themselves in the mirror, thinking there's more animals watching. There was a voyeuristic titillation that is proven to be effective in things like flamingos, things like penguins too. Penguins are also monogamous, but they won't do it unless other penguins are watching. Now, listen. I'm going to give you another example. This is going to be a little more on the dark side. This is personally not me, but it does encompass some other individuals that I know of. We've all heard about the movie 50 Shades of Grey, right?
Hell yeah.
God, that's so tight. So many of the women went nuts over that, right? Oh, that turns me on so much. And I'm kind of freaking out. This is not my thing. But then I watched rhinos, and rhinos are gray, right? Well, rhinos, man, they are the definition of S&M as far as sadomasochistic foreplay. They beat the snot out of each other, where they draw blood, man. They hammer each other. It's like they give each other the ultimate spankings and hammering to where they're bleeding. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, he gets this huge erection and he breeds her. They need to have that very hard, powerful foreplay before they actually are able to breed. So that is, I think, kind of an S&M prelude to sex.
50 Shades of Grey rhinos.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I said, listen, I bet you that had something to do with the establishing of that show. 50 Shades of Grey. Let's just call the guy Grey, but that's going to be my excuse because I saw rhinos beat the snot out of each other, draw blood, snap each other around quite a bit before having sex, and it turned each other on. You see? Now, again, I'm going to preface. I'll admit to the mirror. I'll admit to, maybe a little bit, soft porn every now and then, but I'm not into the spanking stuff. However, a lot of people are. And listen, a lot of animals are too. So again, we've got homosexuality, we've got bisexuality, we've got spanking, we've got mirrors, we've got voyeurism.
Panda porn.
Panda porn. All of these things are found in the animal kingdom, man. And it's incredible. Now, another thing is, people think with animals that, heck, it's just an animal, so that all the animals do it the same. For instance, all the tortoises, you put a Galapagos tortoise next to another Galapagos, they're all going to be the same, right? Because it's instinctive. They do it the same. It's like a mechanics. Wrong, guys. Couldn't be more wrong. Anybody who's owned different dogs or different cats as pets, those animals have different personalities. They may be the same species, but the personalities are different. Just like with human beings. Guys, I tell the women all the time, ladies, I'm sure that you went out with a guy, you ended up in that very intimate position with that guy, and as soon as he started, you went, oh crap, this is a mistake. Okay? There was no chemistry there. It wasn't working. The guy was like a
buyer's remorse.
That's a good way to put it.
Never happened to me.
It's just one of those things where the guy's like a wet noodle. He's not doing anything. And yet, if you were to go by this animal belief that all species are the same, all guys should be the same. No. But just like people, animals have different personalities, even in the sexual arena. For instance, I know that there's this one turtle that I used to work with that I watched. And I mean, this guy was like, most turtles vocalize when they breed. The male will get on top of the female.
Yes, they do.
Yes, it's fantastic.
It's one of my favorites.
Your favorite sound? Is that what you're going to tell me, bro?
Yeah, because it's like, because you see a turtle and it climbs up and it mounts the female, and then all of a sudden you hear, it sounds like a person.
It does, because if you sound, like the smaller turtles, like you do like a little box turtle, he just kind of goes, but then you get to those big box turtles. I mean, the big Galapagos tortoise, 500 pounds. It sounds just like this. I've been able to imitate it so well because I've heard it for so many years. It goes,
I've heard that before.
Yeah, well, I still have a lot of other ladies, but the bottom line is the Galapagos tortoise makes that exact same sound. Okay, and that's something that people I want them to see that kind of passion. the one that has the most sound and that moves the hips the most, that opens his mouth, sticks out his tongue, that's what drives the passion.
That's what Roy sounds like.
Work. Yeah, exactly. So
keep my name out of your mouth there, buddy.
No, I'm just telling you guys.
There's everything out of the mouth.
There's so much that we can learn by watching the animals, you know. And then you go to the other extreme where some animals, it's not any fun at all. It's called parthenogenesis. There are some lizards where they don't need a male. The female will turn into a male and fertilize her own eggs. Same thing happens with some fish. They don't have to breed. They just
seahorses, right?
No, seahorses is a little different. Seahorse, it's the male, it's the dad. So what happens is the male fertilizes the eggs in the female, and then once those eggs are fertilized, she inserts them into the belly of the male, and he carries the pregnancy out. And when the baby's hatched, she's responsible. The female leaves. Once she deposits, it's like once you deposit your sperm, she plays the role of the male. She deposits the fertilized eggs into the belly of the male, and he gets pregnant. He raises those babies, and he's got to take care of that. The female never sees the baby. She's off on her own.
Deadbeat.
Yeah, but guys, this is fascinating stuff. Think about it. It's really fascinating stuff, you know, like, and you have to look at different animals and think, well, what about the different challenges? For instance, most mammals do it what we tend to call doggy style because we're very, you know, tunnel vision. We see dogs do it, we say that's dog. But most mammals do it that way, where the male mounts from behind. Mammals including the porcupine. But if you're Mr. Porcupine and you're coming in from behind, there's a couple of red flags there, brother. Okay? I mean, she's got the spike sticking right up at you. What's going to happen here? How are you going to find out? So what does the porcupine do? Here's another little fetish, so to speak, guys. And again, I'm not making any of this stuff up. I'm just trying to say how wonderful nature is. Before he gets close enough to her, if he smells that she's releasing those pheromones and he thinks, oh yeah, she's ready. She smells the pheromones. The way he asks permission, he stands about 6 feet away from her and he starts to urinate on her. The little original golden shower. Okay. So he gets to urinate on her. If she's happy with that, she will turn her back to him. She actually can take the quills and part them on her back, creating a bed on her back, flipping her tail over, basically giving him the green light to come on in and do his thing.
I don't see nothing wrong.
No.
I wouldn't be okay with that.
No.
Yeah, well, see, but that's the bottom line. You know, guys, there's another thing that people don't understand, and because we tend to compartmentalize things so much in the animal kingdom, and believe it or not, guys, it's the same in human beings. Urine is the #1 catalyst to sex in the animal kingdom. When you see a female animal, a dog, for instance, when she is going into heat, what does she do? She spots everywhere. She drops little scents of her urine everywhere because they're hormone laden at the time. And every dog in the neighborhood is going to smell that and come up to find her to breed. That's her objective, is to get as many males possible in the neighborhood. Okay. It's the same thing with humans. It's not really human, but it's the hormones that are in there. That's the beginnings of oral sex, guys. I mean, that's why so many guys find oral sex titillating as much for them as it is for the woman, because there are pheromones that are exchanged there that come through the urine that tell the man subconsciously she's ready. She's ready. There are certain times when it smells different than other times. She's ready. These are everything I learned about. Every time I thought I was some sick pervert, I'm thinking, I'm not sick. It's nature. It's beautiful. This is wonderful. What is sick are these tunnel vision human beings who think, oh my God, that's disgusting. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know, they go in, they turn off the lights, missionary position, sheets on top, nobody looking at her, bam, bam, over. Okay, go to sleep.
Prudes.
Those are the sick people. Those are the sick people. Well, listen, you know, and people always, again, they want the comparison thing. So, you know, the question inevitably also comes up, okay, which animal has the largest penis on the face of the planet? And that's almost a common sense question. On land?
I know that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, not on land. I know the biggest one is the whale, right? Like
that's right, the blue whale, man. Fully erect,
whale.
that thing is 10 feet long. It's like the mast on a sailboat, brother. So here's
Julio Franco.
No, but here's the deal. So you say it must be really easy to tell the difference between a male and a female whale, right? Obviously, if you've got a 10-foot reproductive organ, you're going to see that. It's going to be obvious. But it's not.
Back problems.
It's not obvious. Let me tell you why. Because what he does with that when he's not using it, he can hide that all inside his abdominal cavity. That only comes out when he's ready to breed. So when you look at a male, if you turn him over, it just has one long slit. And me, again, I'm very simple-minded. I look at the long slit, I'm saying, that says female to me, right? That's female. Everything about that screams female. But no, the female slit is a little different. The female has a more interesting slit. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a male. It's a little more interesting. But on each side of the slit, there are 2 nipples right on each side of the vaginal opening. So why is this? Because whales are mammals. They're sea mammals, ocean, but they're mammals, so they breastfeed their babies. But what's really neat is that unlike terrestrial mammals, or us as human beings, because we always tend to compare ourselves, we've got the vagina down here and the breasts are up here, right? So in the whale, the vagina's down here and the breasts are on each side. Can you imagine if it was that way with human beings? It would be like one-stop shopping, guys. You wouldn't have to move. You're right down there. Everything's down there.
Well, you got to have the nipples down there. Otherwise, you'd have like this weird whale crying game. Where you...
Well, the main reason for that is because this, guys. When a whale is born, when any marine, okay, Roy, get over it.
I'm sorry.
When any marine mammals are born, unlike terrestrial mammals, when you were born, if you were born normally, head first. If you're not born head first, it's called a breech birth, and there could be complications with that. But you're born head first as a human being, or any terrestrial mammal for that purpose. Marine mammals are born tail first. Why? Because they're born underwater. And if they're coming out head first underwater and they get stuck in the birth canal, what's going to happen? They're going to drown. They've got to breathe air. So the last thing to come out is the head, so they can immediately go to the surface, get a gulp of air, and then stay behind mom all the time when it's nursing. So mom can always see what's in front of it, and the baby's protected behind her. So nature has a reason for doing that, okay? It's the way animals are born. Even terrestrial mammals, some of the birth processes may look a little bit drastic. For instance, giraffe. When a giraffe has a pregnancy of about 15 months, when a giraffe is born, the mom doesn't lay down. Like most mammals will lay down to give birth because, oh my God, I got to get this thing out of here, it hurts. But the female giraffe stands up and the baby falls 4 to 6 feet to the floor, comes out head first and then splat. The first time I saw one born, I said, oh my God, it was alive for a second. And now
Head first?
Head first, man. And it hits the ground like a big water balloon, splat. I'm telling you, the first time I saw one born, I said, it's dead. It just broke its neck. It fell so hard, it just broke its neck. But it doesn't. You know why? Because babies, just like human babies, bones are like rubber at that time. But what happens when it hits the ground, guys?
Bounces.
Not only does it bounce, it wakes that baby up. It's like, when a baby's born in the hospital, a human baby, what does the doctor do? Slaps it in the back, slaps it in the chest, gets it breathing to clear that air passage. See, when a baby giraffe falls, what happens? It hits the ground, it starts breathing. It's like, welcome to the world. It's nature's way of getting that thing breathing. There's no vet out there to give it a little spank and clear its air passage. By hitting the ground like that, it causes it to breathe that way and start breathing normally. So nature has a good reason for everything that it does. That's what's fantastic about this stuff.
Stugotz here. Have you ever wanted to give yourself better odds on winning a bet? Well, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a chance to do just that. All players who place a bet on Sunday night's basketball game between LA and Denver will have a hand in lowering the over-under on the game. That's right. For every 1,000 players who bet the over on Sunday night's game, the over-under will drop by 1 point. How about that? Every bettor who hammers the over in Sunday's Denver versus Los Angeles game helps to lower the game's over-under. The best part is that even as the line lowers, the odds remain at even money. That's right. You could double your money by hammering the over. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code DAN when you sign up to hammer the over on Sunday night's basketball game when LA takes on Denver. Who doesn't love to hammer the over? For every 1,000 people that bet the over in Sunday's game, the line will decrease by 1 point. Yes, this is your chance to improve the odds of the over hitting, so tell your friends and family this is a team effort. Hammer the over and improve your odds of doubling your money. That's promo code DAN for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, Michigan, or Virginia only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT, or in Virginia, call 888-532-3500.
Ron, you said the giraffe has a gestation period of 15 months.
Yes.
Is that what's the longest gestation period?
Good question, man. The elephant. 22 months, almost 2 years. Baby is about 250 pounds at birth. Giraffe baby is about 120 pounds at birth, 6 feet tall at birth. The shortest one is going to be something, any of the marsupials, like kangaroos, koalas, because they are born in an embryonic state, usually about after only 28, 29, 30 days. They're born, but they're not developed. They have to continue to develop in the pouch. So when they're born, they climb up and they go down into the pouch where they lock onto a nipple in that pouch, and they continue to develop in the pouch like a secondary uterus. So the actual pregnancy itself is a month or less, but they continue to develop in that pouch for another 5 to 6 months before they emerge.
Ron, can you explain the process of some animals having sex and then immediately after that, one of them kills the mate?
Absolutely, man. Probably
Kinky Roy. I like it.
The most famous of that. The most famous of that is going to be the
dark turn.
A lot of insects. The praying mantis is probably the most famous of that, because what happens is the male, and this is really kind of, it's factual, but it's hideous. The male will come up. He's usually smaller than the female. He'll get up to her and he gets close to her, and as soon as he locks in his reproductive organ into hers, she grabs him and she starts to eat him head first. But this is what's amazing. As she's finishing his head, she severs a nerve that causes the reproductive organ to pump the semen even faster and harder. And it continues doing that until she eats the entire animal, until she actually eats the reproductive organ that is pumping the semen into him. Listen, another question, great trivia question. People don't realize this, but the animal that has the longest penis relative to its size. Can any of you guys guess?
Chris Cote.
That'd probably be the opposite on that one.
Relative to its size.
What are you doing there, Roy? What do you mean?
Yeah. What are you doing there, Roy?
It means that you're probably small. That's what. Is it the flea?
Nope. I'll tell you what. It's an animal that cannot move, so it's fixed in its place. So it has to be able to reach a female that's far away. So thereby it has the long penis to reach her.
Like a bacteria? Or
No, not a bacteria. Not a bacteria.
Coral?
It's close. You're getting close with the coral, brother. You're getting close with the coral.
A sponge.
Starfish.
No, it's a barnacle. A barnacle. A barnacle has a penis 20 times the length of its body.
Wow.
So when it's locked up on the side of the ship there, on the hull of the ship, and it sees the female that's 20 body lengths away, he just goes, hi there. That's how that works. That's how that works. But again, see, that's how nature adjusts. This is what's so great about this stuff, guys. And then a lot of the stereotypes that you might think people equate to, for instance, people will come to the zoo and these young guys, these guys are all into steroids and lifting weights and getting all pumped up. They come by the gorilla exhibit and say, yeah, if I came back, I'd be that animal there. Look at the size of his pecs, baby. Look at those biceps. That thing is ripped.
He's not packing.
I would be a big, beautiful gorilla like that. I said, you might have big abs and big biceps, but you're right, Cody. Downstairs, fully erect, 2 inches.
I just Googled barnacle penis. It's pretty impressive.
You think I was making that up, Billy?
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Not safe for work. Not safe for work.
Listen, I am this fountain of knowledge of all kinds of worthy information that you guys are just going to thrive on. But back to the gorilla penis, fully erect, 2 inches. Guys. 2 inches. So here's the deal. Never judge a book by its cover, but also at the same thing, also understand that it's not necessarily all about size.
Motion in the ocean.
It's the motion of the ocean, my friend. You got that exactly right. You got to know what you're doing with the tools that you have, and you'll be able to build the biggest house on the planet. For instance, there's this one animal called the tapir, okay? The tapir, when he's not sexually active, doesn't look very impressive at all. However, when the male tapir gets an erection, it looks like a fifth leg. And I said to myself, what does he need that massive organ for? And I saw it, but it looks so painful. And, every time I show the images to people of this huge erect tapir's penis, the women in the audience, you see them right away go, oh. But then all of a sudden I say, listen, why do you do that, ladies? Because what you do is you give those of us that are normal inferiority complexes. And the bottom line, you know what? If one of us had something like that tapir, that's a one and done. That's a novelty piece that you look at, you play with, and you run away and say, don't even come near me with that again, because it would hurt. It would be physically uncomfortable. I remember, guys, again, I'm giving too much information here, but man, I had a roommate in college. I think the guy's father was a horse. I mean, it's just one of those things where I just went, holy cow. And I used to tell him, I used to ask him, I used to go, hey, guy, dude, you must just knock it out of the park. I mean, he goes, this is a curse. This is a curse, guys. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he would tell us, because we had the big communal showers, so all of us would be in there with our normal little flaccid wieners hanging around. And here's this guy coming in here with his freaking Louisville Slugger hand between his legs.
Telling you, it is a curse.
Oh,
it is a curse, boys.
Ron, let me ask you a question on that. No.
Why, you know somebody?
Which animal is, some penises are showers and some are growers. Which animal is the best grower? So from flaccid to erect.
That's got to be the tapir and the rhino, both of those, because when they're flaccid, you don't even see them. It's just a little knob that hangs out. It looks like a little piece of the end of an apple that hangs out. When it becomes erect, it looks like a freaking Louisville Slugger. I mean, it's unbelievable. I look at it, I'm just amazed that it's so massive, okay? But again, to the original point, I talked to my roommate who was unbelievably gifted in that area, and he said he looked into having reduction surgeries. It couldn't be done. He said, this is a curse, guys. I've never been able to keep any girlfriend for a long period of time because it just is, it hurts. Okay.
Can I bring us back to this barnacle penis real fast? Because I clicked on this link Billy has shared with us. This does not look like a pleasant experience for whoever is getting this. It looks like sandpaper.
Yeah. Oh, listen, guys.
They are underwater though, right? Like
no. But listen, guys, when it comes to the anatomy, the penises of many different animals are incredibly painful looking. For instance, cats, any kind of cats. If you listen to a domestic cat up to a tiger, the penis of a cat, when it's flaccid, looks just like a pink little appendage hanging out. When it becomes fully erect, it's got these cactus spines that point backwards.
Jesus.
So when he inserts it into the female, he puts it in there, it slides in because the spines are sliding backwards. If he tries to withdraw that penis when the spines erect, it rakes the vaginal walls of the female. It hurts like hell. If you've ever heard domestic cats breeding, it kind of sounds like this. It starts off with, and then all of a sudden you hear, that's when he's pulling out and he rakes the vaginal wall and he's killing her. It hurts so bad.
I always thought that was a fight. I always thought I was listening to a cat fight.
That's not a fight. That's
those cats are fucking.
Yeah, well, oh my God, the language.
I mean, I'm not Googling this one.
This is a PG performance here. Anyway, so listen, bees. Let's go down to a little invertebrate like bees. When a bee male, the drone, breeds the queen, he has these barbs that lock into the queen's vagina. Mm-hmm. When he's ejaculated and he's done and he tries to fly away, the barbs keep the penis intact inside the female. And as he flies away, the penis pulls out his guts and he dies. Okay? Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Admiral death.
It's an admirable death. He's given his all for the next generation. Okay?
You said admiral.
David Robinson?
Admirable.
Admirable. He said it okay. Admirable. I got you, Cody. I know what you're talking about. You have animals, snakes. Snakes have what's called a hemipenis. It's two penises that have fleshy spines on them.
I thought you said something else.
No. And they lock into the female. Listen, guys. There are animals that have the most creative masturbation techniques you could ever see because
Try me.
Go on.
They're just driven to relieve that pressure, that tension, to relieve themselves of that drive. So it is something that feels good. Many animals do it because it feels good. Absolutely, reproduction is the ultimate goal, but to insist that it's the only reason they have sex is a lie.
What's the most creative masturbation technique you've witnessed?
Oh, there's a couple, man. There was this one drill, a mandrill, that he would take his penis, he'd put it on the floor, and he'd take his hands like this and clasp them, and he'd take the penis and knead it like a roll of bread on the floor, back and forth, leaning on it like this. And then all of a sudden he would just shiver and fall down and do everything he was going to do. But there was this
one's always a winner.
No,
what are the creative ones?
No, the female otter. Now, I know a lot of women do this. Well, I'm not going to get into specifics, but I know women do this for a fact. But I couldn't believe when this otter really liked me. And when I come out in the morning and I turn on the jets to fill up her pool, she would go right on top of the jet and she'd lower her genitals right onto the jet so the jet would hit her genitals in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's not just women that do that.
You'd see her lip go up and quiver, and then she'd shake and she'd fall into the water in pure ecstasy. Okay. She couldn't wait for me to turn on the jets to that water, man. So I'm telling you, there's just so much that you could see. I'm just amazed at the creativity of animals, the sexual drive of animals. But at the end of the day, it's a beautiful thing. I've done this presentation to try to convince people, listen, what you do in private with you and your personal mate is between you and them. Okay. Your significant other, and that's all between you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If you're not doing damage to each other, you're not hurting anybody else, Screw what anybody else thinks. Have fun, enjoy yourself. I think the more you have variety, the more you bring these things into your sex life, so to speak, the happier you guys are going to be. And another thing you'll find out is that, you'll be surprised how sometimes your spouse was thinking all these things you were thinking, but he or she didn't want to bring it up because he or she was worried that you would think he or she was kind of weird. And then you find out neither one of you are weird. You're just being normal. And then it gets fun, brother.
No kink shaming.
No kink shaming. Exactly. No kink shaming, guys. Listen, animals are wonderful. We're wonderful. Life is too damn short to take ourselves too seriously all the time. Enjoy yourself. Keep an open mind. And you're just going to be a lot happier for it. So that's my lesson with a little sex in the animals.
That was really cool of Ron Magill to do. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff with Ron Magill on the Mystery Crate in the coming months. He's the best. Now, let's get to the main course, if you will. It's not really the main course, but I'm just making an eating analogy because we're at a restaurant for this next bit. All right. My parents were out for their Valentine's night dinner. It was a couple nights ago, and my mom texted me that they were doing it, and I said to myself, wouldn't it be funny if I just bombarded them and I had a microphone in their face the whole time? So I did that, and this is what came of it. It's my baby, no pun intended. I'm really excited for you guys to hear this. Check it out. All right, so here we are. I feel like Aaron Andrews right now covering a Super Bowl, but I'm not covering the Super Bowl. I'm covering my parents' Valentine's Day dinner. How do you guys feel about me just intruding myself on this, romantic evening for you?
It's a little different.
I mean, it's weird because it's a two-person table. We could have gotten a table for 3 or 4. Like you guys are sitting romantically at a two-person table, and I'm like kind of awkwardly on the side of it, and it's just
Right.
Mom, how are you feeling about this? You just want to drink your martini.
I've got my martini now. I'm starting to feel better.
Usually you have to have dinner with one
I know.
annoying person.
I got 2 idiots with me today.
Happy Valentine's Day. Love is in the air.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just think about it. It's probably your father and mine's, 44th Valentine's dinner.
And what's the most romantic thing he's ever done for you on Valentine's Day?
Those early years are sort of faded, so I don't really remember.
All right.
But he's usually really good with the card and the flowers.
Okay.
Although
there's been no big shocking surprises or whatever. It's not like we're going, to Las Vegas today.
I will tell you that, and this is a true story.
Oh, good. As opposed to the lies he usually tells.
I send a dozen roses to my wife every year on Valentine's Day, and the default rose is red, right? So every year I would send her red roses.
And then 10 years in, she told you she hates red roses?
No, 35 years in, she told me she really doesn't like red roses.
Well, I feel like that's a jerk move by you, Mom. Just take the flowers.
It was never like that.
It's not like you're this flower specialist.
It was never like that. It was never announced like that. It was in an off moment in time, not on right when I got them and said, these suck.
Okay, so what was it then?
We were talking about flowers at one given time or another, and I was telling you what my favorite rose colors were. Not that I hated red. I've never said I hated red roses ever.
Sorry,
I don't hate red roses. I just like other colors better.
Okay, that's fair.
And why do you hate red roses?
I think the real question could be, why did you wait 35 years to mention it? If it was something that every single time it was a little punch in the stomach because you're like, ooh, I don't really like these.
I thought that the effort was nice.
Yeah, exactly. It's a thought that counts.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm thinking of, for some reason, when I think of Valentine's Day, I think of Modern Family and Claire and Phil, like role playing at a hotel bar. You guys ever do anything like that? Where all of a sudden you become Dante Hightower. And I think that's the name of a former football player. That'd be funny.
I think that's a first name of one and a last name of one, but not one with both names.
Dante Stallworth and
Right. No,
Dante Hightower and Mom's Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt. I actually love Bonnie Raitt. Baby. No, she's great.
That's the first famous person anyone ever told me I looked like.
I can see that.
Yeah, the redhead thing.
I didn't even know who she was.
Really?
It was 1977. So I didn't even know you then.
I was -10.
That's why I did not know who Bonnie Raitt was then.
Well, you guys are about the same age, so she was probably,
She's
in
older
her...
than me, thank you.
Okay, all right, whatever.
So we're at you guys' favorite Italian joint.
Yep.
Okay, I guess we're saying the name.
Okay.
In Plantation. There's
All right.
there's one in Weston
Yeah,
as well.
with our favorite waiter, Pablo.
Yes.
It's very romantic in here. It's like more dim in here than usual. I feel like there's a little candle in the center here. I feel like I feel like I'm like killing a vibe. Like, is it okay that I'm here?
Well, if you weren't here, your mother and I would be necking right now.
Necking. Who says that word?
I don't know if people still say
Old
necking.
people do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. My hand would be on her knee, the whole bit.
So what are we eating here? What's on the menu tonight? What are you guys gonna order?
I'm not sure yet.
Our waiter is like your favorite waiter, right? You guys get him like every time you're here?
Yeah, Pablo's great.
I guess we're gonna say his name too, and even though we're not getting any,
I'm not saying his last
Greg's
name.
just shooting from the hip. But all right, we're here. That's the way you.
What would you like for the appetizer?
Wow, really turning it on with the deer stuff.
On the what?
She called you deer.
Oh, she did, yeah. Deer antler spray. Ray Lewis.
So you want to get the scallops and the eggplant?
Sure, whatever.
You're going to get the eggplant?
Eggplant start and the scallops. Okay, perfect. I'll tell you with that then.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll have a glass of...
Pepoli?
Yeah.
You got it. All right.
So this is kind of like awkward for me. Like, I'm hungry. Am I allowed to eat with you, or like, is this just? Should I awkwardly sit here while you two eat?
Who's paying?
I think we know who's paying. I'm definitely gonna have some bread. I'm gonna help myself some bread.
All right, go ahead. Have the bread.
Yeah. So, but no meal. No.
How about under $20?
Oh wow.
Under 25. How about that?
Wow. All right. Let's see what we can get here.
Because this is the kind of meal that you're supposed to have something special. So, Greg, what are you probably gonna have?
Don't judge me. I may have pizza.
Pizza.
Yes, they have a great pizza here.
A gritza.
It's a beautiful 12-inch pizza, baby. And
wow.
It's just beautiful. I mean, it's great here.
All right.
Berlin, your mother always judges me.
Is that like a lunch thing? Like what
No, I just don't think there's. Thank you. I just don't think that when you're going for a special dinner that you should have pizza.
So I have to go outside myself and order something I'm not in the mood for just to suit your ideal of a perfect Valentine's Day dinner,
It's not
or
actually
what?
Valentine's Day.
Well, but it's a couple of days before. I mean,
all right, only because it's a couple days before. If it was actually Valentine's Day.
Wow, semantics.
So that would not be allowed in your mind.
Correct.
Really?
Yes.
So what do I have to have? Chateaubriand?
At an Italian restaurant,
Yeah.
probably not.
What is the sexiest dish in an Italian restaurant? Spaghetti, and you guys can like do Lady and the Tramp type stuff.
I don't know what that means.
Oh my God.
Classic Greg Cote doesn't know movies situation
I know.
right here.
He doesn't even.
You don't know Lady and the Tramp with the two dogs and the spaghetti?
And they kiss at the end.
Not really.
I don't even know it. I've never even watched the movie, or I did when I was 2, but I just know that as an iconic thing.
No, the only dog movie I know is
You don't know the
99 Dalmatians.
You don't know that.
What'd you say?
99 Dalmatians. What is it?
It's 101 Dalmatians.
Wow. Where'd those other two Dalmatians go? All right.
Oh my God. Actually, I'm really glad you're here.
I don't know what is more shocking, that he doesn't know that it's 101 Dalmatians, or that he is just unaware of the famous, iconic Lady and the Tramp scene. If you don't know the movie,
Right,
then
that's
you
all
still
you
know.
know
Of the scene of two dogs with spaghetti kissing.
Right?
Which, it's just saying that sentence sounds a lot kinkier than it actually is.
But
It really does.
But actually, that's like when you were a kid. You should know it from then. I mean, I know it from because when I was a kid, I saw that.
No, sorry.
I feel like, this has gotten off now. I feel like we're doing show here. Just forget I'm here, fly on the wall stuff, talk romantic things.
All right, well, I'm having red wine.
Red wine by UV40.
You know what you gotta love about Pablo and coming here is that's a pour right there.
It's a what? Oh, that's a healthy pour. Oh, yeah.
A whore.
Whoa.
A pour.
I don't know if that one works. I mean, Valentine's Day is the time to reminisce. Your mother and I have been just celebrated our 40th anniversary, which is fantastic.
How'd you celebrate it? By breaking your bed?
No, we broke the bed earlier.
Oh, baby. Is the new bed working out good?
It's great. Yeah, we love it.
Tried it out?
Many times.
And this is awkward, just the three of us sitting here.
Occasionally I have to leave the bed when your mother snores, but let's not get into that.
Baby.
I mean, we don't want to go there.
That's because I ignore it when your father snores.
Right. That's why you need a guest room. How many Miller Lights does my dad usually kill in a night? Don't be shy.
No, actually 3. Maybe sometimes if they keep chatting, whatever, 4 the most. That's it.
That's a good man. He's being nice.
You know, I got your back. No, actually.
Thank you, Pablo. Very rarely poor. Wouldn't you agree?
And you've already had 6.
That was a cute baby.
What?
I said that was a cute baby.
Where?
The baby that walked from all the way here, all the way there, all the way there, past us.
I did not see a baby.
At which point, when the baby was right in front of us, Mom said, "Hey, look at that baby, how cute it is."
Never noticed.
When I was saying, hey, look at that baby, what were you doing?
Probably immersed in my menu or something.
You were immersed in that beer.
Baby. What?
Someday he's going to start listening to what I say when I talk. He's too busy trying to figure out what he can have on his pizza.
But I'm going to what?
What you can have on your pizza.
Zagaki.
How are we thinking, later tonight's going to play out?
I think it's going to play out. What do you think? Huh?
I agree with that. It's going to play.
It's one of those things that before the main course, it's always intended, but it never actually happens after dinner.
It's possible.
Dad, how do we feel about restaurant happy birthday songs?
Especially happy birthday in Valentine's Day
seriously.
time.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Get your own holiday, am I right?
Right, we're mixing holidays. It's not something I approve of. It's particularly like off-putting when it's a group sing-along. It's not just your waiter.
You think it might be a romantic dinner that's celebrating a birthday, but
here
it's
a birthday.
It's a
Right.
big family.
I think it's rude of people celebrating a birthday to go out on Valentine's Day week, to be honest with you.
You're ready or still? Okay, ladies first.
I think I'm going CTO.
Spicy,
Yeah,
okay? With penne pasta?
Yes, please.
You got it.
Pablo, I'm going to get the classic Valentine's Day romantic dinner, which is pizza with pepperoni.
You got it.
Thank you.
Because you know how we all feel about him getting pizza.
I think we're going to go for lasagna today, but...
Here's your Valentine's Day pizza.
All right.
Beautiful. Sorry.
The more I think about it, and as I sit here and just observe you guys having your romantic, very little talking, by the way, you guys are doing. Is that what happens after blank years of marriage?
Drink and eat.
What I've noticed, just observing, this romantic meal, there is something to a food that you pick up with your hands is just not romantic. Like a pizza, like a burger is not something you want on a romantic meal. When you're eating a romantic meal, you want something you have to cut with a fork and knife.
See, I disagree. Because when you think about...
You're actually being loud.
Okay, when you think about...
Should we bring those people into our thing?
When you think about one-on-one contact, you're thinking about...
No, now you're too low. I'm just kidding, just talk.
You're thinking about hands-on.
What the hell's he talking
With your hands.
How many Miller Lights have you had?
It's not with a knife and fork. I'm just saying. Learn from me. The others, they all learn from me.
So you're making the claim that handheld foods are more romantic food?
I think there's an argument to be made. Because they're more personal. They're more intimate.
It's like you're alone in a room with it.
Right. I mean, when you're holding a burrito and eating it.
It's like baby.
There's no...
Have you ever seen American Pie? So it's at this point in the night when the carbs set in and you realize nothing exciting is happening after this meal.
This is as good as it gets right here.
I don't like how I've developed a niche on the show of making sex jokes about my parents.
Yeah.
Why have you?
It's kind of creepy.
Because it's funny.
It's really not that.
It is creepy. It's just funny, because it makes other people uncomfortable, and
I mean, once I made the mistake of telling you that we had to buy a new mattress, you just ran with it.
No, it was honestly Mom that gave it away, that you guys broke it having sex.
What are you talking about?
Because the first time that she like went into her spiel...
He wasn't even in the room when that thing broke.
I hope I wasn't in the room.
Your father
my
was
dad.
not in the room.
No, I mean, once again, Mom gets very defensive with like the exact story of how the bed broke, and that's where I start to think that there's something going on.
I would like to know the story of the bed breaking when I wasn't in the room.
Oh wow!
But it's true.
Oh, actually, Dad brings up a good point.
I mean,
is it true?
He's implying that you might be having an affair.
He was home when the bed broke.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
Threesome.
He was home.
Menage a trois.
Oh my God, this is getting very risque here
I'm
on
like,
Valentine's
Greg,
Day.
you might want to come in here. There's an issue.
That's true. I did heroically try to fix the box spring, or whatever the hell it was.
Dad,
That's tough.
when would you say was the peak of your sexual life?
Oh
Jesus.
my God. That is ridiculous.
You know what? I think on that note we should end this.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for that.
That is so inappropriate.
All right. Happy Valentine's Day.
We'll get back to you on that in about 10
Happy Valentine's Day on everyone.
Thank you for
on everyone, baby.
Thank you for being embarrassing, and you
can hear the difference in Greg's voice. 4 Miller Lights in.
3
Who's counting?
and a half.
Yeah, I think I have to stop with the inappropriate sex jokes about my parents. Like, I feel like it's funny the first 12 times you do it, but I think it's run its course, and yeah, I'm probably not going to do that anymore. That was fun. It had a good run, though. But thank you to Ron Magill. What a fun episode this was. Love is in the air. I want everyone to go home tonight. If you're in your car, it's Friday. I mean, I know this is a podcast. It could be days later, but this comes out on a Friday. Most of you are listening on a Friday. I want you to go home tonight. You have the whole weekend, even if it's Saturday. All right, this is Valentine's Day weekend. I want you all to make love this weekend. That's right, I said it. We're not with ESPN anymore. I can say things like this now. I want everyone listening to this to have some sex. Go do it. And also, while you're not while you're doing it, before you have sex, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to the Mystery Crate, to the Lebitard Show, Dan Lebitard Show podcast, to Stupidity, to the Lebitard and Friends Podcast Network. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, rate, review, all that stuff. Help us out. We're a pirate ship right now. All that support, it really does help us, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for the support, everyone. See you later.